Week 1 in the NFL season is complete. A lot of surprises happened in Week 1. Ryan Fitzpatrick going off against the Saints. Big surprise. The Browns came so close to winning a game, but they had to settle for a 21-21 draw. Aaron Rodgers does it again, coming back in the second half from an injury, leads the Green Bay Packers from a 20-0 deficit on to win the game. Aaron Rodgers is just something else. A lot of surprises this week. A lot of big performances to acknowledge. Saquon Barkley scoring his first NFL touchdown. James Conner scoring 2 touchdowns. Stepping it up for Le'Veon Bell, who's still holding out. A lot of great performances this week. Hopefully there's going to be a lot more to see. Sam Darnold made a good response. Pretty solid debut for Sam Darnold, although that first pass, the pick 6, I like how he responded in that one. And sadly, John Gruden's return to NFL coaching did not end very well, although there are still plenty of games left in the season. So let's get to my Week 2 picks. Enough rambling about Week 1. So I just thought about not really explaining that much about the matchups, just kind of making this go a little bit faster. So I'm going to start off with, well, I'm not going to explain really all of them. Like, if I find a matchup pointless, I'll tell you. Like this one right here, the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. This week's Thursday Night Football game. I find this really pointless, but I'm going to pick the Ravens to win it because I just like what I saw out of the Ravens this week. I didn't quite like what I saw out of the Bengals, even though they got the win over the Colts. I just feel like the Ravens are a much better team right now. I think both teams are very confident after their Week 1 wins, but I think the Ravens are a little bit more confident. And now that I've of course made this pick, the Bengals will probably win this one, and the whole Ravens having a good performance was just because they played Nathan Peterman. But I will pick the Ravens. The Carolina Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. Well, the Falcons have lost Keanu Neal for the season, and now Deion Jones is on IR for at least the next 8 to 9 weeks. And I feel like those two missing positions right there is going to cost not only the Falcons this game, but a chance in the playoffs. Honestly, I think this Falcon season is already over before it really even started to begin. So I'm going to pick the Panthers in this matchup. I think the goal for the Falcons this year should just be to win at least 5 games, because I really don't see them winning any more than 5 games this year. At least by the way that I've been seeing things, and by the way that I've just noticed the Falcons in the last year and a half. I think it's safe to say the Falcons will only win probably about 5 games this year. Next, we have the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Buffalo Bills. Honestly, are the Bills still starting Nathan Peterman? Or are they going to give Josh Allen a chance to start? I think either way, the Chargers will win this matchup, especially last year. I think last year's game was kind of, we saw the Chargers defense really come to life. 5 interceptions in the first half. So I think the Chargers, even though they kind of had a horrible loss to the Chiefs last week, they get a much easier opponent in the Bills this week. So I will take the Chargers. So far I've picked 3 road teams. Next we have the Minnesota Vikings and the Green Bay Packers. It's uncertain whether Aaron Rodgers is going to play or not, but I really think Aaron Rodgers will play. I feel like if he says it himself that he's going to play, I think he'll play. Although I do not remember, though, didn't Aaron Rodgers say in his post-game interview that he was going to be playing next week? Because I really thought I saw someone say that he said that, but I'm not too sure about that. But I think the Packers will win. But if Aaron Rodgers can't play, then this should be a Vikings win. So a lot of these picks will be very complicated this week, and this is one of the games this week that's very complicated to pick this early on in the week, especially with we're unnoticed about the status of Aaron Rodgers. So this is one of those tough games to predict this week, at least this early on. All right, we got the Texans and the Titans. Both these teams lost their openers. I'm going to go with the Texans here. Honestly, I could envision this being a low-scoring game, but I just think the Texans' defense. I think this is the game we finally see them come to form. All right, Browns and the Saints. Can the Browns get a win finally? I don't think so. I think the Saints are going to get this win here. I think they're a little bit angry because they were, in a way, embarrassed by a divisional rival to start the season. So I think the Saints redeemed themselves. We got the Miami Dolphins and the New York Jets. One of these teams is going to shock everyone and start the season off 2-0. And I think that team is going to be the New York Jets. I just think the Jets are just... I feel like they're on all cylinders right now. I think this Monday Night Football win, the big dominating win, 48-17 over the Lions, I think this is going to be the game. Well, I think they have a lot more confidence now. I think they're going to bring that confidence into this game. And I think the Jets will win this one. And Sam Darnold, I think, is going to throw for at least 275 passing yards. That's my bold prediction of the week. And since I forgot one last week, I'll do two of them. Alright, next matchup, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now this is going to be a huge one. This is one of the ones that are complicated to predict as well, because it's uncertain if Le'Veon Bell is going to return to the team or not. And if Le'Veon Bell can't play, the Steelers are going to be missing a huge presence in Le'Veon Bell. In fact, in all but one of the games that the Steelers have played against the Chiefs, Le'Veon Bell has had over 100 yards rushing. Especially in the matchup last season in Arrowhead Stadium, Le'Veon Bell accounted for 43% of the Steelers' offense that game. So the Steelers will be missing a huge presence in that game, which is why I'm going with the Chiefs. But if Le'Veon Bell plays, that's probably going to change. But right, next we got the Eagles and the Buccaneers. I think the Eagles are going to win this one. Despite not having Wentz, despite not having Alshon Jeffrey right now, I still think this team is much more talented enough to beat the Buccaneers. There is no way that Ryan Fitzpatrick will have another performance like that, not against this Eagles defense. Next we have the Colts and the Washington Redskins. I'm going with the Redskins here. I think this is going to be either a high-scoring game or we're going to see the 10-7 crap show. It's going to be one of those two. But I think the Redskins will win this matchup. Arizona Cardinals versus Los Angeles Rams. I'm going Rams here. I just think the Rams got confidence now after a big Monday Night Football win. I think they're going to carry it into this game. Next for the Detroit Lions versus the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going 49ers. I just think the Lions are a little bit down. They're a little bit beaten up here. Which I think the Lions will pick it back up eventually, but I just don't think it's this week. Next we have the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. I think the Raiders will get redemption this week. I think the Raiders are going to respond to getting embarrassed on Monday Night Football in John Gruden's return. I think John Gruden is going to have this team ready. I think they're going to win against these Broncos. Next, in what is arguably the game of the week, the New England Patriots versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, a rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. I'm going with the Patriots here. I really wanted to go with the Jaguars. Well, both these teams are going to look that impressive in Week 1. But I'm going with the Patriots because I just can't really pick against Tom Brady at this point. Even though the Patriots kind of looked a little bit lackluster this past weekend against the Texans, there's no way they look lackluster 2 weeks in a row. So I'm going New England. Next are the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. This is the Sunday Night Football game on NBC. And I'm going with the Cowboys here. Although this is going to be a fun matchup to watch. The New York Giants with rookie running back Saquon Barkley and Zeke Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys. It's going to be an exciting matchup. So, my second bold prediction of the week, these two running backs are going to combine for at least 300 rushing yards. And finally, the Monday Night Football game, the Seattle Seahawks versus the Chicago Bears. both of these teams are coming off heartbreaking losses, but I just think the Bears being in Soldier Field and with the Bears just being motivated, I think they're going to play the chip on their shoulder. I think they're going to win in front of their home crowd. I see this being a low-scoring game. I think the Bears pick up a 17-13 victory on Monday Night Football. So those are my picks this week. For those keeping score at home, I've got the Ravens, Panthers, Chargers, Packers, Texans, Saints, Jets, Chiefs, Eagles, Redskins, Rams, 49ers, Raiders, Patriots, Cowboys, and Bears all winning this week. Comment your picks down below. Like, subscribe to the channel. Also, share this. And as always, have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.